Hi there and welcome back. A few of you have asked how I paint my Tyranid Hive Fleet Typhon bases, so I thought I'd put together a quick video tutorial on how I do that. And the first thing you're going to need is some plastic ball bearings, which we're going to use for the eggs of the base. I prefer to use 4 or 5mm ball bearings, but the choice is up to you depending on the size of eggs that you want on your base. These plastic ball bearings are fairly cheap and are readily available on eBay. You're also going to need PVA glue and any brush-on super glue. It is important that it is brush-on, as you will see later on in the video. Apart from that, you should be good, so let's get into it. So the first thing we need to do is to glue on all of the plastic ball bearings that we want onto the base. The configuration you pick here is really up to you. Just make sure that you leave enough space for the model to go on top of the base. And once that's fully dried, we're then going to use some PVA glue to cover the rest of the base. And once you've got enough on, you can then use a very old brush to make sure you cover the entire base. Then, before the PVA glue dries, we're going to apply our brush-on super glue on top of the wet PVA. You're going to want to apply this on top of all of the PVA glue, and what you'll notice is when you do apply it, the super glue tends to dry almost instantly. The PVA glue underneath will still be wet, so do be careful not to play about too much, but at this stage you do have an opportunity to go in with your brush and try and create some interesting patterns just by moving your brush back and forward across the top of the super glue and PVA. It's fairly hard to see at this stage, but by applying the PVA glue and the super glue together, you'll be making some fairly interesting and unique patterns on your base. And once that's dried hard, we can then paint the entire base black. We're then going to start to paint the base, and to do that we are going to be dry brushing on a combination of dark grey, medium grey and light grey. The choice of greys here you use is up to you. But for this I used, for the dark grey, Citadel Layer Skaven Blight Dinge, and for the mid grey I used Army Painter War Paints Castle Grey, and for the light grey I used Vallejo Stonewall Grey. We're first going to apply a very heavy dry brush of the dark grey, which is the Skaven Blight Dinge, and we're going to apply that to the entire base, trying to hit as much of the base as you can. You want to try and cover as much of the black as you can, so feel free to go as heavy as you want on this dry brush. We're then going to go in with our mid grey, and we're going to give it another dry brush, this time slightly lighter. We do want to hit most of the base, but we want to pay more attention to the top areas and the areas around the eggs. We're then going to apply our final light grey highlight, and this time we only really want to hit the top areas of the base and the top areas of the eggs. And once you're happy with all of your grey highlights, it's time to move on and add some colour to the base. And we're going to do that by dry brushing on Citadel Screamer Pink, and we're going to want to hit all of the eggs with this dry brush and some of the areas around the eggs. And this is going to give a kind of nice glowing effect and make the eggs look part of the base. And then finally, we're going to add another dry brush highlight of Vallejo Squid Pink this time. And we're only going to apply this to the very top of the eggs. And that's going to really help pop and bring out the colour in the base. And after that, you're done. And that's how I paint my Hive Fleet Typhon bases. As an added extra, you can add gravel, sand, stones and rocks if you wish. Just make sure you add them prior to adding the eggs and then follow the process in this video. I hope you enjoyed and found this video useful, and if you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.